Hey everybody, and welcome to Bright Founders Talk at Temy. Temy is an international software development company that designs, builds, and delivers software for sustainable businesses and promising startups. Welcome to our podcast where we bring you the most inspiring stories of entrepreneurs and experts in the software development industry. Each week, we interview successful leaders who share their unique journeys and valuable insights with us. And I'm happy to introduce our today's guest, Maxime Cousin, who is co-founder and CEO at Osol. Hello, Maxime. How are you doing? How is your day?
Hi. Well, thank you for having me today. I'm doing really well. So thank you for asking.
That's great. Thank you that you made time to join Bright Founders Talk. And just before we jump into the discussion about you, about your company, I will give a short information to our audience. What is Osol? So Osol has created the first Nomad Power Network, able to get rid of most of the cables and chargers in the workplace. So your motto of Osol, your power everywhere. That's nice. And we definitely discuss some details about your company. But just before we start those discussions, I want to open some your personal sites as just not only a founder, but a person, first of all. So I found such information on your LinkedIn that as a people lover, you gradually realized the importance of mentoring and how relationships help people reach their full potential. And so my question is, what role did mentoring play in your career as an entrepreneur?
Well, for me, it has the most profound impact, I should say, because I created my company. Actually, I didn't create it in the first times. I was just an intern at the company. And so, the imposter syndrome, you have associates, founders that are older than you, and you need to make your place. And in that kind of moments, mentoring was really the best way for me to get the knowledge, to find my place within the company and within the whole ecosystem. But it was also the case with our market. So to give you a bit detail about the story of how we created the company, we started as a spinoff from the European Space Agency. Mm-hmm. And we were at first using space tech to create mobile solar generators for the NGOs, what we still do. And we opened up this new commercial real estate smart batteries networks because we encountered people from the real estate market saying, well, you're trying to make power nomad, mobile actually. Mm-hmm. Maybe you could do something in the commercial real estate. And I was like, I don't know anything about it. And so I reached out to most of France and Europe biggest companies, either the HR directors or IT directors or real estate directors, and just sending a quick message on LinkedIn saying, hey, I'm Max. I come from the space industry. I don't know anything about the real estate, but someone told me it could be nice to get rid of the cables and to bring flexibility to the workplaces. What do you think about it? Would you be open to set up a 15-minute mentoring interview just to give me your feedbacks, to tell me whether it makes sense or not? And I guess I had somewhere around 70 to 80% close rate within these first calls with like top leaders in companies. And this really helped me understand and learn about the market, about basically everything. So we co-created a product, the product and the project with them. And so in that case, the mentoring was, I guess, the best way to know about the market, know about the needs and pains, but also to connect with people with whom I couldn't have otherwise connected because, well, everybody wants to talk and sell something to them. So I was maybe one of the only person asking for their opinion and not their money. And so it created this kind of really nice loop within the market. And so again, it was only mentoring and people that just wanted to do good and connect with other people.
Yeah, networking, I believe that it makes a lot of impact on the career of entrepreneurs and just ordinary a specialist. So those meaningful connections are really a big need of everyone if you want to boost your career. And so I just wonder, who is your role model in entrepreneurship?
I don't even think I have one. I have a lot of people I look to because they bring something to the table, but I don't have. I don't know. Some people would say Elon Musk, would say I don't know. But I don't have any role model per se. I just met a lot of entrepreneurs that were amazing in their own way, and one of the mentors I met in the US actually told me something really sharp about it, and I was like, well, I want to do business like this guy. He's really sharp. He's really amazing. And was like, well, every entrepreneur has some areas in which they excel, and some things they love to do, and don't think about someone else to look up to, but try to understand what's your star feature and try to build your business around it. So it was not about trying to mimic someone else's way of doing business, but more about trying to get to know yourself better and create the business around it. And for me, it was how to create more connection with people. And we created this all along the business, in how people do business, in how we sell, in how we learn about everything. So what I did for the markets, my CTO is doing it with other CTOs, and my CFO is doing it with other CFOs. And each week we have like this one-on-one mentoring session with experts at different levels, and we learn from them. But the idea is to gather as much information from people we feel aligned with, and like make it our own, if it makes sense.
So we can say that you implemented mentoring and building those relationships in your company culture. And what other important values do you have at Osol?
So for us, the company is organized around 4 key values. We are bold because we think like we are in an old market that needs to, to be changed, and there's really something to do getting out of the normal path people take in this market. The second is we create relationships, and that's, what I was talking about before is really important for us to not only have this business vision of what we do, but more a people vision of what we do. So, for instance, a client of mine is not just a client, it's someone I know, where he's good, where he's lacking some skills. I know what kind of project he's trying to achieve, even if it's not related at all with Osol. But maybe I have another client from another country and he's really good at what he's really bad at. And so I try to make them connect and build this relationship networks. So the second is we create relationship. The third is we are simple. And that's what we try to bring on the table all along the value chain, either in the products, in how we manage business. We try to take on the complexity on us so that it's simple for the people around us. And the fourth one is we try to reach excellence, which is the key element, trying to align all these things and make something that's powerful enough.
Nice. And I believe we can add also one more regarding freedom, which you are giving with your product with Osol. So you can be productive anywhere with your product with Osol. How do you manage to create the community of like-minded people in Osol? What are those qualities you were looking for in your team members?
Okay, so there's two pieces, I would say, in the people we gather around us. On one part is the employees, on the other part is the whole ecosystem by itself. Of course, it depends on the jobs, but we are really oriented towards values, and that's something we try to look at as a compass. And we try to find people really aligned with it. We've made the mistake in the past to hire really talented people, but that weren't really aligned with the values, the core values of the company or the culture. And it created a lot of problems. And so we realized we are trying to find people that either are a bit senior and that will help the whole team get better by itself with, I don't know, new processes, things like that, or people that are a bit younger, not the best at what they do, but really aligned with the values and really able to learn really fast. And we've realized that with the people we build the best with are these kind of people that are really aligned, that can be also people that will make the culture live by itself, instead of just people being good at their job, doing their job and getting back home. This is what creates really the excitation with other company. So that's, I guess, the two things we look at when we look for an employee is that, is he motivated enough? Is he willing or able to learn really fast, even about something that's not in his core missions? And is he aligned, or is she aligned with the values and the core values of the company? And is she or he able to perpetuate this kind of values? Because I guess that's the new challenge when you go from 2-3 people to 20, 25, 30 people. Well, if you don't have people that can perpetuate the culture and the values, then it gets diluted. And this is where it creates new problems in the first stages of the growth. So we also try to look for people that will have this passion for the values by themselves, and that will be the missionaries on the field with other people coming.
Yes, definitely. I believe those qualities, to be flexible and open-minded and to be a quick learner, is crucial nowadays. And so you mentioned that those growing strategies. Are you now in the phase of growing your company, of growing your team?
Well, right now we are about 20-something people. It's been growing really fast in the past 8 to 10 months, I'd say. The first part, since we have a hardware and SaaS company, we have, basically 2 products to build. So it was quite challenging in the few steps of the company. And now that the product's here and the sales are, kind of exploding, that's where the company is growing. So we're about 20-something people based in either south of France or north of France. And now we're growing the companies in Benelux to start. We have clients somewhere, everything about in Europe, but we're trying to open a new base in Amsterdam for the moment. And next step is a new office abroad, which is, again, I guess, gonna be a nice challenge.
Yes, definitely. And also, is it for everyone or just for businesses?
So right now it's only intended for businesses and commercial real estate markets, but also schools, hotels, co-working spaces, not only companies and scale-ups. But soon it will also be open to basically everyone in the kind of model you would have with Lime, with e-scooters, e-bikes, by creating some kind of fleets of units. Once we have deployed everywhere in Europe with our clients, the network is here, the hardware is everywhere on the market. So now you just have to access it. So it will be in the second step of the business.
So we can say that the product in general is not new for the market, but your idea and possession is, of course, you are the first one in this. But what makes Osol stand out of the crowd among other competitors?
Well, right now we don't have any competitors. And I guess because we took something that was quite simple, let's say a power bank, and we adapted it to laptops and like high power equipments, and we made it as smart as possible to be able to be managed in some kind of fleet. So it's quite similar if you look about it to e-scooters or bikes. You have a bike, and the innovation is not about do you create a better bike or not. It's about how you manage this bike to be part of a larger and broader ecosystem, and make this bike communicate with all the ecosystem of bikes. So that's how we approach the market, and we create those networks either at scale of one building or a few buildings, or maybe tomorrow at a country. But that's how we address the thing. And so we had to develop the tech all around the single vision that we have to make these units connected with the other one, and to create this network. We didn't have to reinvent something on the asset by itself because, well, it's a battery. It's a bit smarter, it's a bit more efficient than what you can have on the market. We have a few patents on it, but that's not where the core innovation is.
And so for nowadays, your product is your MVP, or you have already gone to the, let's say, new version?
No, we're already on the market. We have more than 50,000 users in Europe right now.
Wow.
I'd say around 100 big corporation clients, companies like Danone, EDF, SAP, like a large corporation, or unicorns such as Doctolib in France or BlaBlaCar, for instance, co-working spaces like WeWork, IWG, or schools. So right now it's growing. It's already on the market. We have a new version coming in a few weeks now, later in the summer. So yeah, we passed the MVP phase, and now it's more about how to get as quick as possible on the market and to upsell all the existing clients we have.
Okay, so you already passed a lot of important time for company, for growing the company. And what was the biggest lesson you learned as a founder?
A lot, because we made a lot of mistakes, but we have to, and that's fine. First thing is that, when it comes to employee, you have to find people that are really aligned with the values and the culture, and it sounds foolish said like that, but that's so much more important than I would have thought, let's say, a year ago. The second thing I'd say I've learned is raising money is not that complicated. It's just about how you create excitation on the markets. So raising money is not something you can be that proud of, because at first I was thinking, whoa, this company has raised, I don't know, many millions. They must be a pretty big company. And like, we've raised in 3 weeks, and I don't think it's because the product was so much better than another one. It was more about we applied a really nice process to how we approach the fundraising. And so I've realized, well, it's not only the best projects that win, it's the one that know how to market themselves. So I know as a founder, sometimes you can feel like, wow, this company is raising so much, like they must be so better than us. And well, most of the time, and I know a lot of founders, they're not. It's just that they've just been really good at selling the product to investors. So I guess that's the two biggest things, because there's so many misconceptions when it comes to hiring and raising money. And I don't know, we've made all the mistakes you can make with hardware, with software, and there's a lot of things we've learned, but it's maybe a more precise points to talk now.
And so you've said that a lot of lessons were learned, a lot of mistakes were made. And how do you stay motivated and inspired as an entrepreneur, especially during those times?
One of my investors told me something one day that really stuck to my mind. Is like, I was struggling to make a decision about, I don't know if it was an employee, a client, I don't remember. And I was really thinking about how to make the best decision. It was like, stop, like, I don't want you to make the right decision. I just want you to make a quick decision. And if it's not the right one, well, you will learn quick about it and you will make another quick decision. And so this, I guess, has changed a lot in our vision. It was less about making no mistakes than being quick at identifying them. And then you stay motivated because it's a new challenge, and then you learn. And then at the end of the day, well, it's been a hard day, but well, that's what we've signed for. But you come back home with a lot of learnings, personal, because you get to know about yourself and about what you're trying to build. And I guess that's what creates this motivation.
And I wanted to touch the topic regarding work-life balance, because sometimes people say that there is no actual work-life balance for entrepreneurs because they are working 24/7. And so what is your personal power bank source of those charging your personal energy for you to continue those paths of entrepreneurship?
I guess well, everybody wants to have an opinion, you know. Should we go to the office? Shouldn't we for remote, full office? And I guess this work-life balance thing is really personal to each person. I have the example of a friend, like he can't stop working, and he tried. He had a lot of session with coaches, and he just realized that he was really unhappy when he wasn't working. And he prefers to work every day, all year long, without holidays, but traveling and being able to say, oh, this afternoon I'm just going kite surfing, I don't know, because I want it and I can, and have this flexibility. And other entrepreneurs are more like, well, I need really to cut everything from Friday night to Monday, I don't know, because I need to recharge my batteries. And well, I think there's no simple answer, but it's really something that you have to put in front of your personality and also your context. I don't know, I don't have kids right now, but if I had, maybe the story would be different. So right now, yes, I work a lot. I often work on the weekends, usually the Saturday morning, but then I try to really have a break. Of course, the brain is always moving, but then that's your job to get to know how to disconnect, at least mentally, and I don't know, do sports, meditate. There's well a lot of things you can implement, and again, that's really something that's personal. For some people, it would be breath work. For some people, it would be just going in nature, and for me, it's meditation for a small part. Going out with friends, partying. Yeah, well, everybody has is trick, but well, you have to iterate and you have to make the mistake and think, oh no, that's not what I need. I need this, and then if you find it, well, that's something you're going to bring with you for the rest of your life. So it's a good point, I guess.
And did you need to make some kind of sacrifice as an entrepreneur to work in those mode?
Of course. Well, you do it every day, but it's fine because you know why you do it. And I guess, but in work and as in your, I don't know, personal life, love life, if you don't make any sacrifice, maybe there's a problem, because of course there's, if you want to optimize something or get the best of something, you can't just say, I will do everything to the fullest, to 100%. So you always have to play with the things and say, okay, this moment I need to focus more on the company because there's a nice challenge. I don't know, I'm fundraising, there's a new product coming in, and maybe say to your wife, to your boyfriend, I don't know, say, okay, well, for the 2-3 coming months, I will be quite off. That's nothing to be with you, or I don't know, sometimes it's the kids, sometimes it's just the sports. And well, I guess the only lesson I learned is that you can't do and be at 100% everywhere. So you also have to learn what's the 80-20 thing in your life and say, okay, well, this moment I have to focus on the business.
Yes.
And you just have to find a way that this really 100% of work, for instance, it's just going to be for a small amount of time, because otherwise it gets unhealthy. But well, if it's 2-3 months, well, okay, let's do it. And then you're going to party and see your friends maybe another time. It's just that you shouldn't do 100% of the time.
Yes, you've mentioned, I believe, one of the most challengeable part to be focused and to write the right focus in those period of time. It's not even just for entrepreneurs, but for all of us to be focused in the right time on something. I've just left. We have only 2 questions just before we finish our nice chat. Can you share a quote or motto that resonates with you personally and influences your approach to life and business?
To be honest, I don't even have one quote that I know, and it's like a motto. I read a lot. And if something resonates, it's going to be my motto for the 2-3 coming months, and something I will concentrate in. But the only thing I really focus on is the thing my mentor told me about relationships, because before I tried to connect with everybody, and it was quite unhealthy. And the time he told me, well, try to find alignment with your core values and try to find this in the people you meet and focus on those people and give your energy to those people and save it for the other one that are not aligned. I guess this is the advice that changed the most how I approach connection, either in business or in my personal life. So if there's, well, it's called Xavier Wartel, is the CEO of a US accelerator. And this for me has been the really biggest learning.
And what other advice you can share with our audience, with the first-time entrepreneurs and people who want to start their career in software development sphere?
Just have to try. And if you fail, that's not something that's a bad thing. You would have learned, and well, probably the idea you have in your mind is not the idea you're going to release anyway. So just go quick, try, learn, fail, and you will go towards something that's what the market needs and that fits you. And in the end, I know what's the biggest challenge for most of people is to approach how people see yourself. But well, that's, and for me, it's really a hard part, but I ask for many people just to have to distance from this and say, okay, well, if this is the life I want to create more for myself, this is between myself and myself. Maybe my close family, my wife, my children, because of course it would impact them. And you just have to make sure everything is aligned, because other than that, it's going to be complicated to be focused if you have challenges in your marriage, if you have challenges in your family and you're not supported, because it's hard. It's hard, but it's so much rewarding. That's not a problem.
Okay, thank you, Maxime, for those advice. And just before we finish, only one question from my side. So our viewers will remember Osol. If you could describe your company Osol in just 3 words, which words would you choose?
Work anywhere.
Nice. Thank you.
Anywhere and anytime. Work anywhere, anytime. Then you have your 3 words.
Yes. Thank you, Maxime, for this conversation. It was a nice chat. And I believe that you are doing great things with Osol, and I wish you all the best.
Well, thank you so much. Have a great day, and thank you for having me today. And if it helps at least one person, well, I did my job.
Thank you. Thank you a lot.